On top of the Hugh Jackman thing, one of the other names, at least a couple of the other names that everybody seems to insist are going to be a part of either Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars are that of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Now, again, much like Hugh Jackman, I don't think we're going to see either of them in the new one. In anything else, I thought, this was the way that Andrew Garfield, who never got his third film, and Tobey Maguire, who they announced Spider-Man for and then pulled it away from, neither of them ever got to say goodbye as the character. But Spider-Man No Way Home gave them that opportunity to have their send-off, to say their goodbyes. Perfect. They're done. Well, according to a new report, and there have actually been a couple, I'll talk about this in a second. They're shooting 2 movies right now over in London. They're shooting Spider-Man Brand New Day, and they're shooting Avengers Doomsday. I heard some whispers last week that one Tobey Maguire has been seen around town there. I thought, okay, now I don't think he's going to be in either of these things. I don't. But even I had to go, And now other outlets have heard the same thing. As folks over at Comic Book Movie have reported here, Tobey Maguire has been spotted in London. Could it be for Spider-Man Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday? They wrote, it's being widely reported now this weekend. Again, I heard this too before the reports came out. It's being widely reported this weekend that Maguire has been spotted in London. He could be there for a number of reasons. But with Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday, both in active production in the UK, you'd best believe that speculation has gone into overdrive. Now, look, first thing that needs to be mentioned here is, guess what? People go to London. It is a popular place for people to go. So, like they said in here, there are many different possible explanations for why Tobey Maguire is in London. All right? Could be for 100 different things that have nothing to do with Spider-Man Brand New Day and has nothing to do with Avengers Doomsday. Maybe a poker tournament. Everybody knows Tobey likes his poker. That said, even I, who is a staunch doubter that we're going to see either Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire again, because they just had such a perfect send-off, even I, the big doubter, have to go. But it is kind of funny that he's there while they're shooting Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. And listen, if you want to back up a little bit, do you guys remember that when they were shooting the Arrowverse's version of Crisis on Infinite Earths, what's the name of the guy who played Lucifer in Lucifer? One of my favorite shows the last bunch of years. It's Tom.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Something or other. I forget. Guys in the live chat, remind me what his name was. But this
Tom Ellis.
Tom Ellis, thank you. Loved it. By the way, finally starting to see him pop up in some new things. Anyway, that's a side note. There was a report that came out that, hey guys, Tom Ellis was just spotted at the studio where they're shooting Crisis on Infinite Earths. Could it be that we're going to see a crossover and have Lucifer pop up in Infinite Earths? And I said, guys, it's a studio. He's an actor. There's a million different reasons why he's there on set. Probably has nothing to do with being in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Well, guess what happened? Lucifer popped up in Crisis on Infinite Earths in the single best scene of that otherwise disappointing storyline. That was the best scene in the entire thing. He was great in that. So, okay. Let's for a moment. There are 2 different questions to ask here, Rob. Question number 1 is, do we believe it's a coincidence that he's in London while they're shooting these 2 different Spider-Man possible things? Or do we think Tobey Maguire is going to be in either Spider-Man Brand New Day or in Spider-Man Doomsday? The second question then becomes, if he is, if we assume for a moment that he is, just for the sake of discussion, let's assume he is that a good idea? And in what kind of capacity could they be using him? I must confess, Rob, my staunch doubt that Tobey Maguire is going to be in either of these things is on shaky ground right now. Now I'm not so sure. Again, could be a million different explanations about why he's in London right now, but it is rather a convenient coincidence that it's right now that he's in London. Guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Look, you and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right actually means you win. And with football back, there is no better time to get in on the action. You guys know I've been using PrizePicks for a while now, and it's honestly the most fun I've had engaging with the new football season already. For example, this weekend, I had Josh Allen throwing for more than 270 passing yards, and Baker Mayfield having more than 2.5 passing touchdowns, and boom, I won on both. Building your lineups on PrizePicks is fast, simple, and honestly extremely fun. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and if you're right, you win. What's even better is that PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still win even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Plus, they've even got this thing called injury reboots, so if a player goes down in the first half, it won't count against you. And PrizePicks operates in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. So download the app today and use code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. So let me put the question to you. Number one, do you think he's going to be in these things? Is it just a coincidence he's in London or no? And then assuming for a second that he is going to be in one of them, is it a good idea? And in what capacity could you see them using him?
I think absolutely he's going to be in both of them.
You think he's going to be in both
I
of
think
them?
he's going to be, yeah. And I think it might be in Brand New Day, they show up at the end and they're going to be taken into Doomsday, all of them. The reason that I think that they're both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in these movies is because you can kill them.
Jeez.
No, I'm serious.
Narratively, that's true.
Because in Brand New Day, I think Brand New Day is going to have its own story, and I think if they show up, it's going to be in a post-credit scene where all three of them gets transported into whatever shenanigans is happening in Avengers Doomsday, because it's a big multiversal thing. And the thing about having them in there is, one, we love seeing them already together. They made $2 billion in the last Spider-Man movie. It'd be silly not to use them. You're bringing back all the X-Men. It's going to be a gangbang of epic superhero proportions, the likes of which we will never see again. And when they finally get to Battle World, which I think they'd be on too, you need cannon fodder. You need people that can die. And a lot of people can die, but you need people that have weight and gravitas. So when you actually kill them on screen, people are like, oh, you can't kill. They've got to have weight. And I think these three Spider-Men, you're going to see the end of them. They're going to have the send off. It was great. I loved No Way Home, and it was fine. It was fun to see them all, but it was kind of, then they went away. No, this is going to be final. We're ending this. We open this door and we can't sit there and go, but maybe they'll come back. No, this is going to be the end. It's finally the end of Rico. It's going to be the end of these guys. They're going to kill them.
You know what that reminds me of? Them bringing Captain Kirk into that Star Trek Next Generation movie where they go, oh my.
Yeah, oh my, it was fun. Fell off a bridge. Give me a break. I get it. I mean,
but listen,
not the bridge we wanted him to die on, but
no,
okay.
Different one. I've said for a while, because you bring up a very interesting proposition here, because I've said for a while that who you have Dr. Doom kill. Like if you want to have, I talk about John Wick a lot and the brilliance of the puppy, because the filmmakers needed the audience to, in one unified voice, completely condone the unspeakable violence that John Wick was going to do. You had to have the audience totally get on board for all of the horrific, terrible things he was going to do to people. And killing that puppy did it. And I've said for a while, you want to create that same thing for Doom? You have him kill Tony's daughter. Have him kill Pepper and Tony's daughter. And you're going to have everybody's going, this guy's got to die. You just proposed something interesting, because another character or characters that unifying hatred you could get from is if Doom kills everybody's favorite Spider-Man, because your favorite is either Andrew Garfield or it's Tobey Maguire, and you have him kill those Spider-Men. That could also accomplish that in a very neat and tidy way.
In a storytelling sense, I mean, now that Peter Parker no longer exists, these are the only Peter Parkers that do. And at least from Tom Holland's perspective, I mean, he's still Peter Parker, but to see, these friends that he made what they might represent to him. Part of himself is being eliminated. And look, the X-Men can come and go. Cyclops is dead, then he was resurrected in Days of Future Past.
And 3 times they killed Professor X.
Yeah, and they keep killing Professor X. So, the X-Men can go, timelines change, whatever, but the Spider-Men are eternal. You kill them. And it allows for real emotional stakes, because we know that they ain't coming back from this. When Battle World or whatever ends up happening at the end of Secret Wars, if you follow the comics and all that, they're going to have a new unified universe where they've rebooted the Marvel universe in some way, shape, or form. And these characters can go, and they can go in an effective, great manner that's going to make the audience cry.
I hope that Marvel, whether it be in Doomsday, Secret Wars, whatever, when they do wrap up the multiverse saga, I hope they're able to accomplish something here, because you bring up a great thing that makes me think about comic book films a lot. I don't get emotionally moved that much when characters in comic book movies die, because I never believe they're actually gone. I heard some people crying in the theaters. I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. But I'm like, I don't care. He's coming back.
But that was great.
Sure, it was. Listen, no doubt. But it didn't carry much emotional weight for me, because I knew he was coming back.
Yeah.
Right? If Marvel could somehow get to that point, if they could accomplish, like, let's say, we're talking in theory here, guys. Theoretically, killing off Andrew Garfield, killing off Tobey Maguire, and in a way that that's it. Marvel has never been able to capture that sense of tragedy and loss that I felt watching Sons of Anarchy when Opie died. Because in Sons of Anarchy, when Bobby dies or Opie dies, they're gone forever.
Yeah, they're not coming back.
You're not coming back. Or in something like when a character would die in Sopranos, or something like, there's an impact narratively you feel, because they're not coming back. You don't get that in Marvel movies. And if they somehow can give us that with a beloved character, with a beloved superhero, and have us as the audience watch their character die in the movie, and yet somehow know they're gone. If Marvel could add that to their repertoire as well, that would be very powerful.
I mean, yeah, and I think the real question is, why wouldn't you put them in these movies? With all these other people, why wouldn't you get the Spider-Man that come off a $2 billion movie?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, and people love that.
So, you know what, guys? There's still a million explanations about why Tobey Maguire's in London. Let's not lose sight of that. But even I got to say, it's kind of coincidental.
Chairwatch 2 is going to be, because they need that. They need Chairwatch 2 to gin up that when you see how many people are in this movie, it's just going to be like, oh my God.
I would propose to you, Chairwatch only needs one name to blow up the internet. That's Chris Evans. Just like the moment Chris Evans's name comes on a chair, that's it. It's all
but he's going to be in it in some form, whether he's Captain Hydra or whatever. I mean, yes. But I think we're going to get Hugh Jackman. I think we're going to get Ryan Reynolds. I think we're going to get Tobey Maguire. We're going to get Andrew Garfield. It's going to be the most epic. It's going to be the most epic empty chair footage that's ever been put on the internet or ever will be put on the internet.
And hopefully they do something different than Chairwatch this time around.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
They should actually have the actors sitting in the chairs.
That would be better. And move at a pace. More than one every 3 minutes.
And how about not having them on the back of the chair? They all get to turn and look into the camera or something. Or have the camera on the other side of the chairs, where you see all the empty chairs from Chairwatch and then and then you see the people actually
and do it in
there.
5 minutes, not 8 hours.
Yeah.
How about that? Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about all this? All right, so Tobey Maguire's in London as they're shooting Spider-Man and as they're shooting Avengers. Could completely be a coincidence, guys. It totally could. There are a lot of different explanations. But even I have to wonder about the coincidence of it all. And if he is in it, and that's a big if, but if he is, how do you see them using him? Do you like the idea of them using this for his true goodbye and killing off the character? What big of a role, small of a role do you think is going to be? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.